Welcome to another episode of the Jets Afterburners podcast, New York Jets Stand 16. And that on your right is El Senor Liam. That would be my left. What's going on, Liam?
Up, down, up, down. Dan, how you doing? I am
great.
ready for a new era of New York Jets football, man.
Howdy. Yes.
Howdy.
And it's not even breaking news. It's not going to be like that when it is officially announced. But boys and girls, the New York Jets have their head coach and his name, former player, former Texas A&M stud cornerback, 94 draft pick of the New York Jets, Aaron Glenn. Now, it's not official, but you don't have to be a psychic to get this. He's coming tomorrow for a second interview. The Jets were probably one of the first teams to go and look out for some head coaches, GMs. The Titans came. They took the GM that I wanted. Well, you know what? The Jets are finally saying, all right, you know what? Maybe it's our turn. They're also interviewing for the second time tomorrow, Lance Newmark, scout, but also an assistant GM. Washington. He was with Detroit for quite a while. And, we're tying loose ends here. Lance Newmark also knows Aaron Glenn very well. I'm going to say it, and you guys take it as it will. When the Patriots fired Gerard Mayo, they knew exactly who they were going to hire. Make no bones about it. Everyone in the chat, everyone that's watching right now, they know and they knew that it was going to be Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel did his interviews. He went to One Jets Drive. Oh, nice. This is nice. They had an agreement, fellas. Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots had an agreement. But they had to go through the Rooney Rule, which they did, and they checked off the boxes. Nice. The New York Jets had an agreement with Aaron Glenn over the phone or the Skype or whatever the case is. That was Woody's guy. That's Woody's guy. You can't make no bones about it. They know each other. Woody wants that presence at One Jets Drive. He was a Jet. He'll always be a Jet. He wants to be here. Aaron Glenn already voiced his opinion. His dream job is with the Jets. Tomorrow, when he goes to One Jets Drive, he's going to make it official. Boys and girls, like it or not, the New York Jets will hire yet another defensive-minded head coach. Todd, on the chat, you're right. I would have looked outside the box. I would have gone Josh McCown. Screw it. But it's not going to be that. So buckle up, boys. It's the Aaron Glenn era. Liam, your thoughts?
Buckle up, buckaroos. That's all I have to say. I love this hire. I really do. And I understand like this past Saturday's performance didn't necessarily go it wasn't really the most convincing way, like when you're going to be hiring somebody. But listen, the Lions defense is obliterated with injuries. And if anybody knows, that's us. How many times have we been bitten by the injury bug? I mean, hell, 2023, 4 plays in before we knew that Aaron Rodgers was going to stink out the joint. Multiple linemen have gone down for like the New York Jets know all about the injury bug.
Mhm.
And Aaron Glenn, while yes, maybe it wasn't always pretty, you cannot discount the season he's had with the little talent he's had on that defense. Aiden Hutchinson went down. Their entire secondary, they in the draft, they're going to need some linebackers, some corners, some safeties. He may do, you know, and every coach, I don't care if it's Bill Belichick, I don't care if it's Vince Lombardi, Andy Reid, like any of these great head coaches, you're going to find some games where there's going to be some clunkers in there. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. You can't win them all. Can't win them all. Now, I am so against this whole Josh McCown thing. I don't even know where this came from. I know that, well, the Jets, it came from the Jets. They interviewed him. That would have been a terrible hire. Well, that would have been a terrible hire. The difference between Josh McCown and Aaron Glenn is the experience. Josh McCown literally coached high school, and then he was a quarterback coach for the last 2 years. Aaron Glenn has gone through the ranks. He's come up the ladder the right way. He's learned from
Nobody lost today, man. Nobody lost today.
we lost today.
Nobody lost.
I love this too. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. Don't
Yes, sir.
hold on to your hats. But Aaron Glenn, he has learned from Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, Sean Payton, like Dan Campbell. He has seen multiple ways to turn around an organization.
Right.
Starting with Rich Kotite into Bill Parcells. And then he was with the Lions to see their disaster turn around, which has got to be, honestly, probably one of the biggest turnarounds in NFL history.
Right.
I mean, this team wasn't just bad. They were bad.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, Dan Campbell was on that 0-16 team. And now he's the guy that turned it around.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn is on the 1-15 New York Jets in 96. And he's going to be here to turn it around. And some people are saying, oh, this is Saleh 2.0. You can't hire him. How dare we hire another defensive guy, another first-time head coach? I get it. But this is a new era of New York Jets football. And I give Woody Johnson credit. I mean, like, if this is your guy, don't listen to the fans. Don't listen to the media. If you feel it in your gut that this is your guy, then go get your guy. Would have I preferred somebody with a little bit more experience? I'll tell you what, my actual number one guy that the Jets didn't even interview would have been Mike McCarthy. For me, he checked off all the boxes. You want an offensive guy, you want a guy that wins games, head coaching experience, been in the playoffs. That would have been my guy. But that doesn't mean that Aaron Glenn can't be the guy. And Aaron Glenn said something that we all wish Saleh said. I'm not a defensive guy. I'm not a defensive coach. I am a football coach. I just so happen to be coaching the defense.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, some of his philosophies are amazing. Why can't a player come to a coach's house and watch film? Well, why can't I get to know these guys? He's saying all the right things. Is it going to translate to the field? Only time will tell. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't stoked for this hire.
You know what? I mean, what you're saying, it all makes sense. To me, I just hope that tomorrow's meeting, they could hammer out something where Glenn says, okay, look, before I sign here, I want to tell you guys my plan. I'm going to get an experienced offensive coordinator because the defensive side he can have, right? That's one of those things where Saleh didn't have that. He went in there first time head coach, first time offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator in Ulbrich, but he kind of had a little bit of experience when he was with Atlanta. Now he's back with the Falcons. I'm looking at maybe people might not like it. It is what it is. Doug Peterson as an offensive coordinator, bring him in. The freaking Super Bowl champion with the Eagles. Not a good head coach. Not a good head coach.
As a coordinator, absolutely.
Yes, 100%. And Newmark, yes, I'm all for it. I do like how he went up to the rankings and whatnot. And again, he's a GM at Washington. He's the assistant. Another guy that saw things change right away in 1 year with Washington. He was with Detroit for like 23 years, and he saw from the inside out. To Liam's point, Liam, you nailed it, right? Like, it's to the point where you see these losing organizations, and yes, some people do the same thing over and over, and that's why I get it. Sometimes fans might look at this and say, "Shoot, not again, not again." We're having another defensive first-time head coach, but I look at it. Let's look at it as objective as possible. Let's look at the new head coach of the Bears, Ben Johnson. Right, that's the guy that I wanted as well, but it's the name, right? It's all But who was Ben Johnson before this year? Same thing as who was the head coach of the Rams, right? McVay. Who was he? He was on the staff for the Commanders. All right, and he made a name for himself. Aaron Glenn, we all know who he is. We all know. He's a no-nonsense type of guy, looks at players right in the eyes, and he expects a standard. Will that translate as a head coach? I don't know, but in my opinion, once he gets introduced at One Jets Drive, probably Thursday, probably when we have our show again, he's going to be introduced. I think whether tomorrow or Wednesday, it's going to be official. Aaron Glenn will be the New York Jets head coach. Oh, what are your sources? What are your sources?
Trust me, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Put two and two together. It's the first head coach that they finally have here for the second run. Same thing with Lance Newmark. Second run. It's all set. But because they didn't want an arranged marriage. They didn't want a Todd Bowles McCagnon 2.0. They didn't want that. They didn't want that.
This is a great comment.
It is from Zachary. 100%. Glenn is not coming here for his defense. He's coming here to be a coach. I want Glenn to be, I know I'm asking for too much, but what Parcells was to us. Everything went through the head coach. Enough of the whole trust process. That I don't like. I don't like that anymore. I trust them. Like Salas, I trust the offensive coordinator. I trust them. He knows I can't talk to him. Can't Ulbrich. No, I want the coach to be involved in every facet. Remember what they used to say about Salah? Oh, did you go to the offensive meetings? Yeah, I poked my head in there. What? So when it's 3rd and 4, you're on your own 40-yard line. It's a game time decision where it can go any way. You're clueless. You have no idea what's going on. I want Aaron Glenn in there. I want him in there. At all times. I want him to know everything. And to me, I think he will be that. Let's not forget, I'm going to play. I'm on board. I'm already on board here. As a Jet fan, and many Jet fans can attest to this, we have been through the 95-96 season as a Jet fan. Those were one of the 2 worst years. The worst with Rich Kotite. You're trying to make it work with what Boomer had left, kind of, but he was cut because we traded for Neil O'Donnell. We thought it was up and up. Kind of like when we traded for Aaron Rodgers. We were waiting for that spark. Not comparing the two, Hall of Fame-wise, I'm not. I was just looking at how things repeated themselves.
This is another great comment here.
Right. This is where I'm getting to. Mm-hmm. You see, when Parcells came in, Glenn was part of the 95-96 season where the losing culture, it sucked the talent out of you. It did. But then 97 happened. 97, with Bill Parcells at the helm, there was structure, there was leadership, there was accountability. Guess who was there soaking it all in? Aaron freaking Glenn. He was there. And then he enjoyed the rest of his career. He enjoyed it. Went to the AFC Championship game. He saw it firsthand, how you could be the bottom of the barrel, bottomless pit, and you were respected in this league. You had the likes of Mo Lewis, who was going through the whole ringer, 6-10 season, 5-11, 3-13. You had the likes of so many players.
Wayne Corbett,
number 3 out of Hofstra. He barely made the team with Rich Kotite. He saw it. Gritty players. Parcells saw it. Again, I might put it up there again where Aaron Glenn is having this speech and whatnot. And he's saying, if you're not in it, if you're not full throttle into this, you get the out. Get out. Now I get it. Fans are going to crap on this move. I get it. 100%. And you know what? You have every right to. You have every right to crap on it. Yep. I get it. And the proof has to be in the pudding. They have to start winning. Woody, you make a move like this, we're expecting the Jets to be watchable. No Aaron Rodgers.
for the right reasons too. You're not tuning into the circus every week.
Right, exactly.
That's what this has to be. This has to be, a no nonsense team, just like the Lions. And I get it. The Lions are known right now for their offense. You know that, like, when you're playing the Lions, like, it's not going to be a walk in the park. That offense is going to beat you down. But you know what? That defense was pretty damn good too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's just the injuries that riddled them. But I really like that comment that, yeah, Aaron Glenn is cut from that same cloth. He's that old school kind of coach. Now, the question I have for you is, do you think that they're going to hire the general manager first?
It's going to be a package deal.
You think that they're getting hired the same day?
The same day. The same day. They're both going in at One Jets Drive tomorrow. Newmark, Glenn, pleasantries. What's up, Aaron? What's up, Lance? Just like that.
Yep.
And all right, let's get this going. They know the vision. See, the thing is that we have to understand is something very simple. What happens behind the scenes?
Yep.
What happens behind the scenes, you can call it tampering, but as long as the NFL doesn't know about it, they're okay. Just keep in mind there are liaisons to this where the GM can absolutely be hired even though if they're in the playoffs. Lance Newmark, the Washington Commanders, they're in the playoffs. The Jets can have a dialogue with Lance Newmark at any point. They already got the request. Thumbs up. So are you talking to Aaron? I am, Woody. Any issues? Is he going to see any other team? No. We're on board. We're ready to go. All right. So as soon as Aaron is eliminated from the Detroit line, the Detroit Lions are eliminated from the playoffs, first class ticket, you come in on that Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay. Sounds good. Hang up the phone. Lance calls Aaron. What's up, Aaron? What's good? Just touching up with you. Everything all right? You still on board? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I want to be the head coach of the New York Jets. All right, let's roll. That's all I needed to know. That's how these things work. Now they're going in person. This is no Skype. It's not like that. Forget about anyone else going for interviews for the Jets. This is it. It's synonymous. Vrabel, Pats, no-brainer. Glenn, Jets. That's it. Forget it. There's nobody else coming through that door. It's getting finalized tomorrow. If you don't believe it, come back here on Thursday, and I'll tell you. Because we're going to be showing the press conference anyway.
Yes.
All right. You want to bring him on?
Yeah, he looks like he has a lot to say.
Yeah, let's do it.
Never shy of words.
Never.
We got the real Slim Shady himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eminem.
There you are. There you are. Yo, is that your? Oh yeah. Is that your phone or your?
My phone. My computer.
Turn it this way. Turn it the other way.
There he is.
You see?
You can see Mark Sanchez behind you.
Now, Lance Newmark and Aaron Glenn told me about that little trick. So what do you think?
They learned it from Parcells.
He did. What do you think?
You can't change it. I'm not surprised. It's another defensive-minded coach. It's
No,
up Woody's alley.
it's not another minded coach. It's another football coach.
Time will tell on
It's
that
another
one.
defensive-minded coach.
So now,
Okay.
Armand, what do you think? Because this is going to be official. It's imminent. It's not like it's not BS.
If it doesn't happen tomorrow, I'll call it right now. Newmark, no, not Newmark. I'll say Glenn to the Saints on Wednesday.
Yeah, but
If it
I
doesn't,
don't.
if it doesn't happen tomorrow, Glenn to the Saints on Wednesday. I mean, look how fast Ben Johnson got hired.
Right. Right. No, it's bound to happen. Now, when Aaron Glenn becomes head coach, are there any defensive coordinators, any offensive coordinators that you think that he might bring along?
I don't know.
You
I
know,
mean, maybe one of the guys that doesn't get promoted from the offensive side of the Lions. There's two guys on the offensive side that are in the running to get promoted. Maybe one of them that doesn't get promoted comes with him.
see, now I have a problem with that because now we're going through this freaking cycle all over again where there's a new guy trying to figure out the roles of a head coach. There's this new guy that was learning under Ben Johnson, just like LaFleur, trying to learn under Shanahan, trying to learn the ropes. A lot of us wanted an experienced head coach, and now if we're going to go with a first timer, you got to get a veteran offensive coordinator. For me, it's Doug Peterson. Now, hold on one second. Wait. Hold on a second. Let's clear the air here. 1 second, Matt. Nobody is saying that Glenn is Parcells. All I'm saying is that Glenn saw that dramatic change what occurred in 95, 96, enter that new era of 97 Parcells. You could see that he has some sort of those intangibles that he absorbed from that through the press conferences or through those meetings. Is he going to be like Parcells? Nobody's Parcells. No one ever thought that Belichick was going to surpass Parcells. Because if you ask anybody, who would you rather have, Belichick or Parcells? You might have an 80-20, maybe 70-30, where the scale is balanced towards Belichick because of all those Super Bowls.
Yep.
But no one is saying that Glenn is like Parcells. All I'm saying is that the guy learned from him, from Dan Campbell, from Sean Payton. That's all I'm saying. Nothing out of the box here. But
I mean, Matt, he did coach well. He had 18 defensive guys go on IR this year.
That's what I'm saying. His team was just completely obliterated.
He did pretty well during this season with losing guys left and right. Now, did he coach them up for this past Saturday against the Commanders? Not really. That does have a cause of concern in a meaningful game, a big-time spot. But, let's call it what it is. Jared Goff came and showed up with 3 turnovers.
That's tricky
that's
too.
That's the number one thing from Saturday's game for the Lions is Jared Goff showing up. And then you could put it on the defense because they got, smacked around, giving up 45 points to the Commanders, which I don't think the Commanders scored 45 points all season in any game. I'm not too sure about that, but
Yeah. And not only that too, just to kind of piggyback off of Dan, it's like to kind of like relate it to all of us. Like I work in the trades, so like it's like me. Pretty much what Aaron Glenn was Bill Parcells' apprentice. He was, he was Bill Belichick's apprentice, Sean Payton's apprentice. Like that's what it is. It's like, and you can kind of see it, in like the everyday life. Like I can tell just by like looking at like a guy the way that he works. Like, all right, you were under so and so. Like, yeah, this is a well-respected guy in my company. You're with this newer guy. Maybe not so much. Like, you could just tell. You could just tell that he's a no-nonsense guy. And like Saleh, we hired him because he was a cheerleader. That is why he got hired. We got a fiery guy compared to the guy that covered his eyes with his hat and didn't say too much. So he was the polar opposite of what Adam Gase was.
Mhm.
But that doesn't make, that still doesn't mean you're a good coach.
Right.
He had a couple years experience, and he was there with the 49ers and part of the Legion of Boom with the Seahawks. But with Aaron Glenn, we're getting decades of prominent head coaching experience that he learned from.
Right.
It's got to pay some type of dividend, like he's not going to go in there completely clueless. And he still, he remains good friends with Bill Parcells to this day. Like they still talk. Like who's to say that he's not still picking his brain?
Right, because right now, a lot of people are like, oh, we need offensive-minded head coach. Look at the championship games right now, right? You have Dan Quinn as a defensive coordinator, Sean McDermott, defensive coordinator. What do they have? They have quarterbacks. They have quarterbacks that make them look good, right? So my question is, who are you bringing in now? Aaron Glenn comes in here. Are they going to go with Hendon Hooker, right? Bring him here. That doesn't excite anybody. Tyrod, we're going to go with Tyrod. I don't know. But that's why a lot of things will fall into place within these next probably 3 months heading into the draft. There's got to be obviously a certain vision between Lance Newmark, the new GM of the Jets, most likely, and Aaron Glenn, who's probably
You still can't rule out Aaron Rodgers.
No, I know he's gone. You can't, Liam.
Until he's gone, he's not gone until he's gone.
If Aaron Glenn, who has worked so much to get this position, is ready to put his stamp on this, and then he's going to be kind of ruled over by a guy who's I told you not to do
Mr. Mannerisms.
that. I told you not to do that, Aaron. Not Coach Glenn. No. I told you not to do that.
Shove him on the sideline.
And Doug Peterson probably, let's say if he's the offensive coordinator, he's like, yo, Aaron, I told you this play was designed for Garrett. Yeah, but Devontae was open. Yeah, but no. And now what happens with Aaron Glenn? Now, year number 1 is blemished.
He's a pushover.
Where's the culture? The whole purpose of this whole revamp is bye-bye Aaron Rodgers. The only way that Rodgers could have worked here was bringing Mike McCarthy. But that's it. It's a done deal with. I don't see Rodgers coming back. I don't see it. I see a veteran staying, Tyrod. Again, when Parcells was here, he had Glenn Foley, who we drafted in '93.
Your guy.
My guy. But then we traded for Vinny. And Vinny was Belichick's guy back in Cleveland / Baltimore. By that time, he was gone. But I don't see Glenn inheriting Aaron Rodgers and say, okay, we could do this. No, they're not staying. No way. There's no way. I don't believe it. You can't promote change in that locker room if you keep those two players. You can't. You can't allow Devontae to stay with the New York Jets.
If Garrett is gone, they're all gone. Every single one of them.
Before we continue this, let's bring on Jose here.
What's up, Jose?
What's up, Jose?
Good evening.
What's up?
What's up, Jose?
We're not going to stay on super wrong. We're going to get ready to wrap this up around 11. But just want to get everybody on here. So I'm sorry, Armin, as you were saying.
If Garrett is gone, they're all gone, and it's a full rebuild.
I don't think they're getting rid of all of them.
You can't get rid of.
Just because you bring in another head coach doesn't mean like you need to tear the entire thing down. I mean, that's kind of like what intrigues head coaches to come here. They see a couple pieces that they know that they can get to the next level, get the most out of.
That they could trade and start their new regime. They see assets.
Could be.
Maybe. Jose, what are your thoughts?
Disappointed. I won. Sorry.
Yeah, take your time.
No, take your time, man.
I don't want. Sorry. Offensive coach.
I
Wow.
know. We all did, man. We all did. Oh, hold on a second. Lions fan, I love Glenn. He's a great coach, and good luck. If this is true, we have heard nothing in Detroit yet. You will.
Yeah, you will.
You will. Silent service.
Yeah, because the Lions. I mean, I'm not knocking the Lions here at all. Like all the Lions fans are probably still in shock. I would be too. I mean, it's terrible. I was really rooting for they're like my second favorite team. I was rooting real hard for them.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, I just realized I'm like I can't like things. I cannot like things in football.
No,
I just can't.
Definitely not.
My Jets, my Lions, and then I have Optimum, and they got rid of MSG Network. I can't watch my Rangers. They're not having a great year. It's just it's a real snowball effect.
Now, Gase was not the offensive guy. He was a head case. He was a head case. That
Gase,
guy.
head case.
He was a bugged out guy.
Oh, horrendous. Now, Jose, who was your guy?
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores.
Oh, wait a minute. You threw a curveball there. Wait a minute. You want an offensive guy, but then you give me the defensive coordinator. What do you mean?
I just like.
You know who likes him too. So we got someone by the name of Johnny Boy who loves that guy.
I can't stand him.
And
Brian Flores, not Johnny Boy. I like Johnny Boy.
Damn. No, I love Johnny Boy. No,
like
Flores. And Armand,
I
he can't stand him.
Yeah, no, I can't stand him either.
No.
I was smiling Saturday night after the Lions game because I'm like, okay, the Glenn people, the Flores people, like I just told you.
The worst.
One bad game.
Oh my goodness.
An
Jose.
important game though.
Jose, you gotta let us know. Quick one here. Are you happy with the Jets finally landing their GM and Lance Newmark and their head coach Aaron Glenn?
No.
Oh. All right.
No.
Jose, listen, man, we love you, dude, and we'll link up, all right?
All right.
Later,
Have
man.
a good night, Jose.
Good night, Jose.
I mean, no, not a lot of people are going to like this. Not a lot of people. I mean,
and for me, it's not because of Glenn. It's just because it's the same type of coach.
Armand, let me ask you something. If you like blonde girls and you've dated 7 blonde girls and they all broke your heart, but you see this one, good girl, she has, good job.
Barney, it wasn't announced yet.
Barney, listen.
I expect it tomorrow.
We all expect it. Just like we all expected Vrabel to the Pats.
They're both interviewing tomorrow.
Yes, this is it. Barney, this is it. We
it,
have
Barney.
to accept it. We got to accept it, man. This is it. Whether you like it or not, he's our Jets head coach.
Armand, let me just ask you something though. Like I was saying, you've dated 7 blonde girls. Blonde girls are your type. I mean, I'm going by your hair. I'm assuming, just throwing it out there. But they've all broken your heart, and then you date this one brunette. She kind of breaks your heart too. But then there's this other blonde girl. She's not asking you for money. She's not driving your car
like the other girls.
Yeah, she's driving a Benz. She had, she makes well over, 6 figures a year.
She's
head on straight. No baby mama drama, no baby daddy drama. This girl seems to be really good for you, and you guys are really starting to vibe. You'd say no. Sorry, I dated other blonde girls. I just can't.
That's a sugar mama, and I'm using her. I'm not even.
Hey, listen. If Aaron Glenn's a sugar daddy for the Jets, I'd use him too. But seriously though, I'm not saying sugar mama. I'm saying
you were giving Liam is I went out and tried something different. You see how you said I dated 7 blonde girls, then I dated a brunette. Now I'm going back to a blonde. The Jets haven't done what you were trying to do right now with that analogy.
Sure, they have.
Try to do something different.
They hired Adam Gase.
That's
and then
Robert
Saleh.
Moronic.
Robert Saleh was supposed to be the CEO type head coach.
This, guys, is your liaison. Again, Barney had asked, is it official yet or not? My whole thing right now, this guy here, the Jets can tamper with him at any point.
This guy here.
His main guy is a guy named Aaron Glenn. So Lance Newmark, he's been around for quite a while.
When did he go to Washington? I've been trying to figure that out all episode.
I think
2 years ago.
2 years.
Yeah, because here it says he joined the Commanders, 28 years of NFL experience, including 26 seasons. So if my math is right.
So this year and last year, he was with the Commanders.
So he literally saw the turnaround of the Lions and now the turnaround of the Commanders.
Right.
Yeah.
He's seen it done both ways too. He saw the veteran quarterback in Jared Goff, and now he's seeing it with a rookie in Jaden Daniels. So he's exploring multiple avenues on how to turn this thing around. There's not one right way to do it.
So Newmark worked under legendary general manager Bobby Beathard, who was top notch back in the day with the San Diego Chargers. So just to kind of like tying loose ends and whatnot, that's why they're both coming on, tomorrow. Pause. So they're both signing on the dotted line, very emotional, very, I mean, what are you guys talking about here?
Yes, I don't know. I can't say. It's a family show.
Family show. It's just, you know what? It is what it is. Now let's get on with it. We got our head coach. We got our GM. Now we need our quarterback. We're gonna go what? Dart in the fourth round if we have that. Are the Jets going to? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. And
I'm
not even gonna probably. Is anyone excited? Anyone excited?
He seems like he's been, he's obviously put some research into that. He knows the exact percentage.
Yes. I mean, many percentages are done on the spot, right?
Not this guy.
I think people like me that are going to be disappointed because of the hire, not because of like the person, just because it hasn't changed. It's based on what they do with this roster,
But don't you want to be wrong? Like, don't you want to say, "Hey, I was really wrong about Aaron Glenn"?
The words of Joe Beningo: "I'd rather be wrong and happy than right and miserable."
Bro,
let me show you this here.
Bro.
So, I believe this is where Aaron Glenn throws out some analogies with Bill Parcells. Hold on one second. You guys ready?
Yep.
We all know that you're going to be a head coach really soon. But what you going to do, AG, if somebody run into your office like you ran in Parcells' office and ask him if he was finna trade you?
Man, that was the dumbest thing ever.
What happened now? They don't know the story, AG, man. You got to tell the
story, man. So, man, what was this? That was 97.
90-something.
It was 97. And so I'm hearing all these stories, Parcells like these 6-foot corners, he's 6'2", and hell, I ain't that, and I'm hearing all these, well, he's going to trade you because you're not his type. So I keep hearing all these stories, but he wasn't telling me this, so I know my mentality and who I am. So I'm going to try him. So I'm going to go up there and ask him, man, if you're going to trade me, then trade me, So he told me to shut that door, and I did. He said, have a seat. I sat there and he said, listen, everybody got a price on their head. Right. My own wife got a price on her head. If somebody was to offer me a good deal, then she gonna be gone. So if somebody offered me a good deal for you, you gonna be gone. I had to respect it.
Right.
I said, yes, sir, and walked on. That made sense to me.
Yeah.
If somebody offered me something for you, right, it's a good deal, man, you out. So, man, that just opened my eyes to, man, this is a business.
Right.
At first, man, I'm just playing. And I just started to realize, man, this is a true business now. Now, regardless of how I felt, like our relationship didn't change, but I understood exactly how the business was. And man, that's just taught me a lot from then on.
All right, man. I mean, what else Did he learn? What else did he learn from Parcells? Like if that story stuck with him and changed him from that moment, what else has he learned from the great Bill Parcells? And in my opinion, probably a lot.
Don't get attached to players and knowing how to adapt with when players come and go, whether injury or trade
See what
or
I took
losing
out of
them
it.
via free agency.
Everybody's got a price for the $1 million man.
Yes.
Well, let me see here. This is one AG gone for a couple of years. You can have third pick seems good. What do you mean third round pick? We ain't giving you no. We don't have one. We don't have picks.
Picks?
No, the Lions, because of the
Oh, okay.
they get they don't get a
Right.
pick from the Jets. They just get a compensation pick because it's like a minority hire. Like the Giants, if Mike Kafka, the OC, leaves for another job, the Giants will get a compensation pick because he's a minority.
All right. Good to know. Good to know.
It's like
Where
the
are these-
49ers got a pick for when we hired Salah.
Love it. I understand.
Where are all these
now.
trolls coming from tonight? A lot of
I
trolls in here.
love them. I love all these guys. They're awesome. Just remember, number one, thank you guys all for watching. We're still going to go on for a couple of minutes and whatnot. Please hit that subscribe button. It means the world to us. Hit that like as well. So let's keep rolling here.
Genuine question: if Glenn was not a former Jet player, how would you feel about this? If he was to be hired by us, if he wasn't a former Jet player,
Not good. Not good because there's no tying. There's no, all right, where did he learn? No, well, hold on a second. I would probably re-preface that and say, where did he learn his trade from?
Yes, that's a perfect way to put it.
Right? Like, did he go through a certain school of defensive coordinators, defensive coaches where he picked his brain and whatnot? Again, like let's bring up McDermott again. He was
No.
with the Carolina
I'm
Panthers.
not talking about you, Better the Hunt. Not you. Now he thinks I'm calling. I'm not calling you a troll.
No.
There's certain guys. It's not you though.
It's all good. But to answer that question, I wouldn't. I would look at it differently, but under a different lens, like different perspective and whatnot. You know? Oh yeah, that's another one. McDaniels. What about you? You guys? If he wasn't a Jet, like to me, I got a soft spot for Glenn because I saw him grow when he came from Texas A&M, and he was paired up with Ray Mickens, who was another Texas A&M cornerback, who hopefully we'll have on the show very soon. But
for me, like you hit the nail right on the head. It does like, is it nice having like one of our own come home, and possibly be the one to turn this around? Yeah, absolutely. If it doesn't work out, it's gonna suck that like one of our many great players, it didn't work out, and now we have to let him go. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we finally found our guy. It's a mystery. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But same thing that you said, it's like, what's his path? What's his story? Where did he come from? Who has he learned under?
Right.
Who are his mentors? Who is he still close with? That's really what matters. Are you from a well-respected organization that have you been there a long time and you saw stability with maybe like one head? Like, are you a Patriot guy and you saw Belichick for 15 years? Or did you bounce around the league with mediocre teams where you've gotten multiple head coaches experience? You saw from multiple head coaches. Maybe you saw how a organization cleans house and rebuild. Like, what is your story? For Aaron Glenn, we know his story. Drafted by the New York Jets, they were a dumpster fire. He saw it turn around with Bill Parcells. He saw Bill Belichick in the making, as a player. And then he goes into a coach. He's with Sean Payton for a number of years.
Right.
And then he goes to, who is a well-established guy who is at one spot for a very long time. He saw a well-oiled machine that just ran consistently every day. There was no hiccups, no bumps in the roads. The machine was never down for maintenance that they couldn't get fixed. It was just stability. And then you go to the Detroit Lions, another dumpster fire, first-time head coach, former player. And then you see this whole thing flip. You bring in a veteran quarterback, you trade one of the all-time great, if not the greatest, Lions quarterback of all time in Matthew Stafford, at least probably one of the most respected ones.
Right.
So that was a big move. A lot of people don't give that credit. Matthew Stafford was their guy. And granted, he was never a guy, he didn't really get you into the playoff. Like, he wasn't a great NFL quarterback. He wasn't great. But in terms of like for the Lions organization, like that was their guy, like him and Calvin Johnson back in the day. And he probably thought he was safe. And then all of a sudden they ripped that Band-Aid off. They said, this is a new era. I don't care about your failed legacy in the past.
Yep.
And that's what Aaron Glenn needs to do. He goes, I don't care about your legacy. If Breece Hall needs to go, if Sauce needs to go, if Garrett needs that's if this is what needs to happen, this is what's going to happen. I don't care how much you like Stafford. I don't care how much you like Aaron Rodgers or like any of these guys. This is my vision. This is how I want to fix this team. Mm-hmm. And similar to Dan Campbell, who was in that Lions locker room for a number of terrible years, that 0-16 team. He goes, listen, I saw the way that it did not work. So I learned what not to do. See, that could be Aaron Glenn.
I look at this as, that whole Parcells tree, right? Like with Parcells, it was when there were injuries, he kept chugging, right? Like when Testaverde went down, yes, it took him like probably 5 games or whatnot, but he put in Ray Lucas and that machine ran. Belichick, again, coming from that same tree. Brady went down, enter Matt Castle. They had an 11-5 season. They missed the playoffs. It is what it is. But it's plug and play. It wasn't how it was with Saleh and Rex and, Bowles. As soon as one key player goes down, the season is shot. Case in point, what? And now we're almost approaching a year and a half when Aaron Rodgers went down against the Buffalo Bills opening day. The moment he went down, it was over. It was done. And there was no contingency plan. Let's go get Carson Wentz. Let's go get the guy with no eyebrows. I forgot his name. What's his name?
Josh
Dobbs.
Yes, Joshua Dobbs.
Okay, and get him. Bring him in. Make the Jets respect. No, we're gonna go with the second overall pick.
What's crazy is Carson Wentz said that he wants to come. Hey, I want to be here. No. We don't want
good
you
old
here.
Woody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah. Exactly. 100%. So now Aaron Glenn has learned that. Again, what happened this past week, not fun. Honestly, if I'm a Vikings fan, Detroit fan, I would not be feeling good. Shoot, man, you worked your butt off this entire season just to be a one and done. But with that being said, there's a nice trajectory for both of those clubs with the Vikings and the Lions. Now, let's do this again. Let's play this little game. So Aaron Glenn becomes the head coach of the Jets, offensive coordinator. Would you be okay with another ex-Jet that wants to be here, Josh McCown, as offensive coordinator?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I would take him as an offensive coordinator.
No. He has no experience. He only has 2 years as a QB coach. 1 year this year in Minnesota and last year in Carolina.
Can I tell you what, though? You bring in an offensive consultant. You bring in a senior offensive guy.
OC. You make him an assistant OC.
Okay.
QB,
that's
QB
fair.
Coach.
I would take that.
Like if Dan said, let's say, because I don't know what Doug Peterson's going to do. I don't know if he's going to sit out the year. I don't even know, if he becomes the OC here, maybe Josh McCown becomes the assistant OC / QB coach.
I would I'd sign up for that.
Because my questions about McCown is, what quarterback has he developed? It's like also bringing in Mark Brunell. He has there's a reason why Teddy Bridgewater was brought out of retirement and coaching high school to become QB2, and Hendon Hooker became QB3. they didn't develop him properly to be QB2.
Well, there has to be a certain culture on that offensive side of the ball because I got to be honest with you guys. I don't see the Jets drafting a quarterback this draft looking for the future as a franchise, right? But with that being said, there's got to be something established, just like the Bengals had established a year before they went all in on Burrow on the first overall pick, right? So we have to think kind of worst case scenario that this season it's not going to look good, right? It's going to be a very young, raw team that you want effort. You want something there. Can it turn into what the Washington Commanders turned it out to be? That would be fantastic under Glenn. Amazing. The chances of that, the chances of that happening is probably not going
because
to.
they had cap space too, besides having the number 2 overall pick.
Yeah, exactly.
We we have the 7th overall pick, and we don't have a lot of cap space unless we work some magic, like our good buddy Afram would tell us.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you have to think towards the future at this point. Now, who do we get? Like a Ewers in the 5th round? If he lands there, is he a guy that, in my opinion,
the 5th?
He won't be there. So the Jets might have
because like how like Dan, how you brought up like the experts say like this is a weak quarterback class, like QBs like Ewers, that in a very much more loaded quality QB class he would be a 5th round pick. Well, in this class, from Todd McShay on his podcast that he has, he says he would be inflated to at least maybe a 3rd or 4th round quarterback selection.
Right, which the Jets don't have at this point.
But he said if it was up to him, if Ewers asked him if he was a part of that committee that does like the evaluations, he would have said to tell Ewers to stay in college.
Right. Now, yes, 100% with that. To me, it's getting that side of the ball, coaches. You need veteran leadership with the coaches. I know the Jets tried to do it with the late Greg Knapp, but then afterwards, that was again another demise for the Douglas Saleh era. There was no help. There was no backup quarterback that was willing to teach. Joe Flacco don't teach nobody.
Nope.
No, that's it. That he is who he is. Someone like Josh McCown, he will teach people. So it has to be full of, number one, Doug Peterson has to be part of the New York Jets some way, somehow, on the offensive side. Some way. Bring him in. Consultant or assistant OC, bring him in.
Senior advisor or something, yeah.
Something. Again, and then to your point, Armand, maybe there's someone that could shake free with the Detroit Lions. Kind of mix match philosophies here. What are we looking at? Offensive scheme wise. The Jets, there was no innovation whatsoever. I got to be honest. The innovation from the New York Jets side of the ball was Mike LaFleur. That was innovation with the right quarterback there. Remember that play? I think it was in Miami where it was a slant to Berrios. He was about to get tackled and freaking chucked it to Crowder.
That was Cleveland.
That was the Cleveland game, the comeback game.
Yep. And then they did it again in Pittsburgh with Berrios and Zach Wilson.
And then the Cowboys did it.
Yeah.
They stole it. But that's it. The Jets didn't have anything else anymore. Like I'm looking at Cliff Klingsbury.
There was no creativity. Like actually they had that one play this year. And who was it with? That little flea flicker, I think it was.
Yeah, that's 19.
And they got blown up.
That was the last game of the season. That's the one that it was a flea flicker or an end around, something like that, and he threw it to Devontae. He just got decimated.
New York Jets football, baby, come get some.
Come get some.
When we saw receivers in motion this year when Todd Downey came over, that was innovative for us Jets fans.
That's so sad, man. Like, did you guys see the play this past Saturday? I think it was Saturday. Ben Johnson. It was like they were down score And they did like, I don't know if it was an end around or whatnot.
Oh, it was the
Yes.
end around to Jameson, the wide receiver when he threw the
Oh, my
interception.
gosh.
They were down 10 points. It was 38-28.
No, he didn't throw it. He took it to the house. I think it was an end around or something.
Oh,
It was earlier in the game
Oh,
where,
that was in the second quarter.
yeah, man, like there's got to be something there. Like,
fellas, you know what the good news is though?
Hmm.
It can't get much worse.
no.
No,
I mean,
Can
it could.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
it
listen,
can.
it could get a
It
little worse.
can.
It can.
But just it could get worse more by Woody. That's all we could say. And look, if they don't have a coach and a GM by Thursday, it's gonna get worse.
Well, what if Glenn didn't go anywhere yet?
If he's not hired by us tomorrow, he's gonna be hired by Wednesday in New Orleans.
He's not leaving tomorrow. I hear what you're saying. I think this deal was agreed upon weeks ago against with Lance Newmark going in there. It's a no-brainer at this point. Aaron Glenn will be the new head coach of the New York Jets, and Lance Newmark will be the new GM of the New York Jets. We could start moving forward. I wouldn't even close the door on Thomas Dimitroff as part, at least something, in that Jets organization. I wouldn't close the door there because the Jets need new air, something new, and the Jets can have an opening for him.
What about what if Newmark brought in Chris Spielman as his assistant GM?
Oh, yeah, bring it, man. That's
Yeah,
what we need.
I wonder if the Lions Spielman is potentially out the door.
As a GM.
Yeah.
Maybe not this year because he's only interviewed with us. He didn't interview with Tennessee and he didn't interview with the Raiders.
Right.
Maybe next year, but like I would assume, like see if you could get him to be. I mean, Newmark has worked with him.
So Stanley, I understand what you're saying, but the only thing is my rebuttal to that is Woody did a lot of things during this season that it wasn't very Woody-ish, such as firing a head coach. He never did that. Firing a GM, never did that. Now he's going to pay. He's going to start paying. He has to. He has no choice because this embarrassment went too far.
Yeah.
Imagine again, he's a big head out in England, and to lose the way he did, and he has to go back this year, which I hate. I hate 9:00 games, but it is what it is. He has to. If Aaron Glenn is the guy, he's going to do everything he needs to, and Glenn is going to play the game. I'm pretty sure he's probably been playing. It's like if I leave tomorrow, then I'm a saint. And that's a good idea. Leave.
I just hope they have a coaching staff done by next week, because I know, just to bring this up, there's with the Cowboys coaching thing, all reports are leading to Kellen Moore going back there to be the head coach and leaving the Eagles. So, if after this weekend the Eagles are eliminated somehow, some way, Kellen Moore gets hired, that's a team looking for an OC, and Doug Peters, well, that's his former head coach. You want to get an OC in here as fast before
right away.
Before the Eagles become available. If Kellen Moore was to go there to Dallas,
well, let me ask you.
What?
Let me ask you this, because Ben Johnson just got hired by the Bears, and he already has Dennis Allen as a defensive coordinator. I would
his number one choice.
His number one choice. Well, that's the thing, right? As a potential head coach, aren't you making these phone calls already? Like, okay, hey, look, if
Glenn and Ben probably made their phone calls like throughout the past week or so, just to get some information of like who would join them at wherever they would be coaching at.
Right. Now, again, I just a quick one here. Thank you, everyone watching right now. If you can, if you're on X, just head over to YouTube. Give us that quick like and subscribe. It just means the world to us. We're going to have a lot of guests coming on. We have a new series after the season in which we're going to put health first. We're going to just try to dive into NFL fans, how they cope after the season. So definitely check that out. Be on the lookout. But tonight, right now, we're approaching midnight in about half an hour. And I honestly think Glenn is already there. He's at One Jets Drive. I think probably they're hammering out, kind of like the nuances, how long, what are the years do you think? I'm looking at probably a 4-year contract and with Newmark 6. Does this seem okay, or does it have to be 4 and 4?
I think it has to be 5 and 5.
5 and 5. Okay.
I think those are the sweet spots, either 4 and 4 or 5 and 5.
But
Right.
they got to be a package deal, at least in my opinion. I mean, like if things go,
It
knock
just
on wood,
looks like it. Looks like it. Like there's no way you have Aaron Glenn come here as the first interview for his first second interview for us, but like for him to be the first one for us this week, and then you're bringing in Newmark the same day. Like it just looks, it's
right. Like that's why, like so many people on the chat are like, "Oh, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It hasn't been confirmed."
all signs point to it.
Honestly, let's take kind of a rule of hands and whatnot. The moment Vrabel became available when Mayo got fired, who knew 100% that he was going to the Pats?
oh yeah,
Everybody did.
We're waiting for you.
oh sorry.
You know what I mean? Like that's why this is 2 + 2, man. This is quick. Oh, wait, whoa. Nice. SW Lion 26. Thank you for hopping on the channel. That's awesome. We greatly appreciate you. I'm a Lions fan. I wish Aaron Glenn the best. He certainly deserves a head coach opportunity somewhere. The offense lost the Lions game with 5 turnovers. Wow.
It's hard to win a game that way.
Right. What are the intangibles that you've seen of him as a defensive lion, defensive coordinator, that you're going to miss the most when he leaves SW Lion? That would be a question that I would like for you to answer. If you're still on, I get it.
I also have a question for any Lions fans in the chat. When the defense was healthy, when Hutchinson was there, how much did Glenn blitz? Was he the same with a fully healthy defense, same type of blitzer as compared to Saturday when he blitzed a lot with a depleted defense? 18 players on defense on the IR. That's a lot. Yeah.
All right, not to cut you guys short, I'm gonna have to wrap this up though. My tablet's my laptop's dying over here.
No worries.
It's getting kind of late. You guys can say I don't care what if you guys want to.
I got to get going. I already did 2 interviews right now.
Yeah, I don't know how you're still running.
My ass is
Well,
like
folks,
flat.
thank you for showing up this Thursday, 9 or 9:30, based on when these guys are available. Will be the next show. Obviously, we'll be talking about the hiring if it happens or if it doesn't, and possibly what would happen with this roster.
We'll be on at 9. We'll make it. 9's our time.
Yep. Well, you heard it here first.
We're good guys. Sometimes we're just a little late.
That's it. That's all. Well, not this time. This time we're early, and we're just letting everyone know.
Yes.
Aaron Glenn will be the New York Jets head coach. So you heard it here, folks.
And with that being said, God bless.
Sorry?
Whoa. I was going to say, with that being said, God bless America.
Let's go, baby. America's back, baby.
Quarterback, Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Just 14 that first time, now going long. They got a wide open man, and he makes the catch. It's Braylon Edwards taking off. Braylon Edwards will take it home for the touchdown.
going for 6. Deep down the field.